So you don't see any conversion inside Google Ads and want to know how to fix this problem. In this video, we will go through all the potential problems with your Google Ads and most importantly, how we can fix these problems to get more conversion. So without further delay, let's start with a very common issue. If your Google Ads account is not getting any conversions, the first thing I'm going to check is your Google Ads conversion tracking. We have to make sure that our tracking is working all right before we make any change inside Google Ads. And in this step, we will check if our conversion events are active and how we can troubleshoot that. So let's go. So here we will go to our goals, and in conversions, we have this summary. So click on it. And in the summary, we will check our important conversion actions. So we have two here. One, submit lead form, and then we have this one called lead. So here for this one, we have to see in the status column. As you can see, this is tracking. So the last activity is today. And then we move on to our call from website thing. Last activity, again, today. So that is doing well. But if that status is inactive for any of the events, there is a way that we can troubleshoot it, if that's working well or not. And here's how to do that. So you will go to another tab, and in that you will open Tag Assistant. So I'll go to tagassistant.google.com. Click on Add Domain, and here I will add my landing page. Click Connect. That takes me to my landing page, but I have to open my form and complete that. So just click on the form page, and here this is my form. I will just do it for testing. So let's put anything here, and then in the message I will put this is the test, and then I will click submit. So that takes me to my thank you page, and now I have to go to my Tag Assistant tab. Let's minimize this one. Click continue, and here you can see in the tags fired, my lead form from Google Ads is firing. So that means it is tracking my Google Ads conversion, so I don't need to worry about it. But if you don't see any tag firing here, then that's a problem with your Google Ads conversion tracking. And to fix that, you need to redo your Google Ads conversion tracking, or you need to see whether it's a problem with your Google Tag Manager, any tag there, or any trigger that is not firing. Now we have tested our conversion tracking. Everything is working fine. Now, second thing I will take a look at is the overall demand of your product or service. Now we all know different parts of the year, there are certain services that have different demands. So demand varies over the year. And the reason we do that is to know if it is actually the problem with Google Ads. Because if the demand is low for your services, then definitely you are going to pay higher because there is more competition for less amount of customers. And here we have 2 or 3 ways to check that. So let's do it. First, if you have been running ads in the past year as well, then you have to compare the performance. So how you can do it right here. So just go to the date and just compare it with the previous year. So let's click on it and click apply. So what it shows right now, we have got more conversions, we have got more clicks this year. But for you, if the previous performance is as bad as this year's performance, then definitely that's a demand issue. And most of you wouldn't have the same budgets last year, and most of you wouldn't have any spend the last year. So for you, you can go to Google Analytics, and how to do that. Let's go to Analytics, and here you will check your traffic and compare it with how it was in the previous year. So you can see if that demand is the same or more, or it's different. But the best way to do that is to go to your keyword planner and see how the demand varies in your area. And here's how to do that. Let's go to tools and go to planning, and here I will click on keyword planner. Click on discover new keywords. I will give my target area. My target area is New Jersey, so I will give it right here. Click include, save, and here you will give your product or service. So you have to give any of your main keyword here, and it will tell you how the demand varies. So I will give couples therapy near me, and then click on get results. So this graph is going to tell you how the demand of your product or service varies within all the months. So as you can see here in March, that is an all-time high. And as we go down the year, in December, that is very low. So if you are in this point, like in December, then you possibly don't have to worry. There is less demand, so there is more competition. So that means you have to pay more and you have to get less. So that's the rule of Google. So that's what Google Ads is all about. If you have confirmed that demand is not low, there is good amount of demand here, or it is very similar to the other months or the previous portion of the year. And now, since you have confirmed that demand is not the problem, In the next few steps, we will dive deep into all these issues and not only find out, but also fix them. So you will start getting conversions again. So inside Google Ads, the first thing you have to check is your top impression share. It is so important to see if your ad is actually showing at the top of the page or not. Because if your ad is showing at the bottom places of the page, there are high chances that most people will miss your ad. And that happens most of the time. Top impression share will show you the percentage of times your ad has shown in the top 4 places, and that's what we want. But how you're going to find out if that's the actual problem? Let's go and check. So we are in our Google Ads account, and here we need to check our top impression share. So let's go to campaigns. And here I need to add this metrics. Let's click on metrics. And here go to competitive metrics, and here we have this search impression share, search top impression share. So let's click on it and click apply. That will show up right here. I will click on this one. Now this is telling me the position of my ad. The best way to do it is to select the longer time frame. So I would select 90 days here. And now that's giving me the bigger picture. So this is how my ads has been showing in the last 90 days. But for you, if your top impression share is very low, then you have to fix this. And there are 2 ways to do that. Number 1, you need to raise your bids. If you are willing to spend more, Google will show your ads at the top places. And the second, your ad and landing page need to be very relevant. So actually that's a concept of ad score, which depends on your bid and your quality score. And quality score depends on landing page experience and ad relevance. And for bids, if you are on a manual CPC or maximize click strategies, you have to raise your bid. And if you are on a target CPA, you have to increase your CPA targets so Google can show your ads in the top places, and that will solve this issue. If you are a business owner running Google Ads but struggling to get leads, this is exactly what I see all the time. And to fix this, I offer a completely free Google Ads audit where I will personally review your Google Ads account. Just go to scalekit.com and schedule your free audit today. Now enjoy the rest of the video. Now we have checked our positioning. The next most important thing to check is your click-through rate. Click-through rate will tell you if users are actually interested in what you offer. If your click-through rate is so low, that will give the indication that your ad is not good enough to get clicks, or your service is not relevant to the searches that you are getting. First, I will show you how you should check your click-through rate, and then I will show you how you can improve that to get more clicks and then more conversions. So we are back in our account, and I need to add CTR here. So let's go to metrics. And here I will add CTR, click on apply. And here I will select this. Now, the most important thing about CTR is not to see at account level. You have to see it at campaign, and then you need to select your ad group so you can check which ad is doing well and which ad is not performing well enough. Because clearly if your ad is not getting clicks, then Google would try to show it below. So again, that would come down to our positioning. The best way to increase your click-through rate is to offer what they actually want. So what they actually search, you need to show right in your headlines and descriptions. You can also give your unique selling points here. You can also give a discount here. The most important thing that will push them to click is the relevance. How relevant your headlines and descriptions are to what people are actually searching. Comes the question of how you're going to know what they're actually searching. And that will take us to our point number 5, which is search term report. The most important report in Google Ads is your search term report. You have provided your keywords to Google Ads, but this report will tell you what people are actually searching. So let's go to our search term report and see how we can use it to get more conversions. So click on Insights and Reports, click on Search Terms. I will go with all campaigns here. And this is my search term report. What is most important about this report? You need to see which terms are converting. And you will take these terms, you can place it in your ads, you can place it in on your landing page. The most conversions I got is from this particular term. How you can identify the problem with your search term report. So you know your top converting terms. You can apply a filter of those terms right here, and Google will give you all the clicks that you are getting. So the first thing you have to do is to note down your high converting terms, and then you have to find out if we are actually getting those clicks. For example, this is my term, couple therapy near me. I will copy this one, click on add filter, and here I will search term. I'll click on it, and I will paste my high converting term right here. and click apply. I have these clicks right here. If I can go with a bigger view, so here you can confirm if you are actually getting clicks on high intent terms. Now the problem that happens with most of the cases, sometimes we shift to low bids, then Google does not show our ads on high intent terms. Rather, it starts showing ads on low intent terms like just couple therapy. So in search term report, you have to make sure that your historically higher converting terms are actually getting clicks. If they are not getting clicks, you need to find out the reason, and the reason could be your competitors have targeted them, so CPC is high, but you have the CPC limit which is not giving you any clicks over that term. So you have to fix this problem. And another most important thing you have to do with your search term report is to add negative keywords. I recommend checking this search term report every day and see where you are getting clicks from, and you should also add to negative keywords, because when we start bidding low, Google push our ads to those competitors and all those irrelevant names, and then we start getting clicks from there and we don't convert. But the most important use of this search term report is you need to filter out and see if you are actually getting clicks for those high converting terms, or you're getting clicks from some different type of terms. The most underrated thing in Google Ads right now is your landing pages. If you want to get competitive advantage, try to build more specific landing pages. And that is our point number 6. If your landing page is not relevant to the searches that people are making, clearly you're not going to get any conversions with that. So you need to check your landing page regularly to see if there's any problem with that. So your landing page can make or break your Google Ads campaign. I would recommend you to build a specific landing page, and if you don't know what should be in your landing page, check this guide. I have it in the description below. So right now you can see a Google Ads landing page. What's special about this landing page is this is very relevant and very specialized landing page for those search terms. And the most important thing, it does not have so much text, because for these Google Ads landing pages, you don't need to have so much text. Especially on mobile, it is very difficult to read those paragraphs and paragraphs. So you need to make something which is to the point, but make sure to include your keywords and search terms right here. And also the good SEO of the page is important. You need to check your call to actions, whether they are actually working or not. So what I would recommend you here, you need to have your Microsoft Clarity account. It is totally free. It will give you all the recordings so you can check what users do on your landing page, where they are more interested in, where they are less interested in, where they leave, so you can optimize your landing page accordingly. Now, after the landing page, coming to our last but not the least point is your change history. If you have noticed that you are not getting conversions in the last 2 weeks or the last month or the last quarter, you need to check what you did before that time period. And there is a report in Google Ads that will tell you what changes you made inside Google Ads. So let me show you how you can check. So inside Google Ads, you will scroll this one. And here you have this change history at the very bottom of the page. Click on it and it will show you all the changes that you have made. So you can also specify it by campaign. And as you can see, all these arrows right here, these are all the changes that I have made. So if you notice that there is a decline in the performance from here onward, then you can check what you did before that event. So if I just change the time zone, then you can see it. So like this here, these are the changes that is going to give me, and I can go more detail of here and see what I changed. And if there is any change that you have made mistakenly or that backfired, you can come here and you can undo that change. So this is the best way to see how your Google Ads performance dropped and what actually dropped that performance. And to be honest, mostly that's our own actions, and you will find it right here. If you are still struggling to find out why your Google Ads are not getting conversions, then you can get a free audit. The link to the free audit is in the description below. You can go and schedule a free meeting with me. In this free meeting, I will check your Google Ads account and we will try to find out why Google Ads are not performing for you and how you can fix that. See you in another video. Thanks.